Hi, thanks for watching. Today we're going to make several Christmas cards. We are using Amaryllis Christmas by Yana Smakula for Spellbinders. This collection includes the Amaryllis dies, the 3D embossing folder called Amaryllis Garden, the letterpress, betterpress sentiments, home for Christmas sentiments, the festive poinsettias, letterpress plate, and the layered festive poinsettias stencils, which go along with the festive poinsettia betterpress letterpress plate. Let's get started. The first thing I'm using is the 8-piece die set, Yana's Amaryllis. I'm going to be using some of the Spellbinders foil cardstock from the Handmade Holidays paper set. It comes with the silver and the gold, and I just added the red and the green from my stash. I think Amaryllis are beautiful flowers. I was super excited when I saw this collection came out from Spellbinders. And I'm going to be making 2 cards today using that. I'm going to be using this green foil cardstock to cut out the leaves. And then I use the gold foil cardstock to cut the outline, which is sort of like a shadow layer, so it's really pretty. I'm using my Spellbinders Platinum 6 machine and going ahead and trimming. Now this paper that you're looking at right here, this is just the red cardstock from that Handmade Holidays paper pack from Spellbinders. But I am using some press and seal. This is going to help me do paper piecing, all right? And just kind of watch what I'm doing here. You see the press and seal holds everything together, and I'm just going to go ahead and sort of place the cutout of the flower over top of the die cuts. And so I have the red cutout, which is on regular paper, and then I'm using the red foil for the cutouts. So I think this turned out really nice, and I know it's kind of hard to see through the press and seal, but when you see the finished product, you'll get, I think, the idea of how this all comes together. Then for my gold foil cardstock, which is the actual cutout, the outline, you see it looks white on the back, but it's actually gold foil paper. So then the paper piece inside is just plain red paper. So I was doing basically some foil and some regular paper on that project. So if you can just hang with me here, I'm going to go back to that project in a minute, but I'm jumping over now to the betterpress system, and I'm using mulberry ink, and I'm inking this entire betterpress plate, and it's not juicy enough, and I really don't have any refills for that ink, so I just switched over to some cranberry fizz from Catherine Puller, and you can see the result is this dramatic background. I don't think that was cranberry fizz, that color that I used. This is cranberry fizz, which is more red. The other color that I used was more, I think, brown or maroon. The other color was called Merlot, and this one is called cranberry fizz. And then I'm using 2 different colors of green, martini and spruce. Then I'm just going to take my little ink dauber and just blend a little bit, and then run it through my Platinum 6. Of course, this has been fast forward, very much fast forward for the sake of time. But then I'm going to go in with the spruce, and then just use my little dauber just to spread that ink around and I get it sort of like an ombre look. So I'm really happy with how these turned out, but wait until you see how fantastic they look when you take your stencils and do some ink blending. Okay, now I'm taking that same Better Press plate and putting it on my Glimmer hot foil machine. I made sure it was nice and hot, and I heated it up for several minutes to get it nice and hot. And now I'm using a variety of Spellbinders hot foils to hot foil this Better Press plate. That's what's awesome about the Better Press plates. You can hot foil them. And this one hot foils like a dream. By the way, the foil that I'm using right now is called Aura. It's my favorite of all times of foil. Here we have a beautiful pink foil. And I was thinking that would look pretty with some purple poinsettias. Here we have this gold speckled. And isn't that just gorgeous? Oh my, stunning. Stunning. Yes, I am in love with this plate. I think this is going to be my Christmas cards this year. I'm going to have to make them all on this hot foil system with this Better Press plate. And the stencils. Well, the stencils really take it up a notch. All right, and I'm just going to let the foil cool for a second before I reveal. And now you see why that Aura is my favorite. Isn't it beautiful? That holographic rainbow that you get. Oh, it's just stunning. And then I did just regular gold, which turned out beautifully as well. Beautiful foiling. The Glimmer system is chef's kiss. I love my Glimmer machine. So if you've never tried hot foiling before, don't be shy. It's a really fun way to basically take your cards up a notch. And over on Nancy Stamp's YouTube channel, you can find all kinds of videos teaching you how to hot foil. Nancy is my best friend. We met through the crafting community, and she's got a lot of videos on hot foiling. We call her the Foiling Empress. She also does a lot of lives and does a lot of giveaways, so you might want to check her out. I'll have hers linked below. So I will have her information linked below. So I really like this pink. Like I said, I was thinking that would look pretty with purple. Okay, now I have I have a hot foil plate. This is the Arch solid hot foil plate from Spellbinders. What I'm doing is I'm foiling the waste. So basically all of those negatives that I pulled off of my originals, I am going ahead and I'm hot foiling them. And you'll see the results are just as beautiful as the originals. So here we have gold. Those poinsettias are super pretty, aren't they? And I just use the arch shape just to add some interest to my card. You could use square, circle, anything. And I have some black glossy cardstock. And I have the hot foil. I think I have the Aura hot foil. No, that's pink. I think that turned out really nice. The black and the pink together. I was like pleasantly surprised. Now this one I think is the gold speckle. And I did that on black glossy cardstock as well. And this is a stunner. Oh my goodness. Seriously? Unbelievable. So pretty. And I made a whole bunch of cards using these. And if you hang on till the end of the video, I have still photos of all the cards that I made. Okay, now let's move on to our stenciling. So this has 6 different stencils and they're numbered at the bottom. And I have the packaging right beside me. This way I know sort of what inks to pick from my stash that match the example. I am using some small Post-it notes so that I don't get ink of red where it should be green. I guess if that makes any sense. Or I get red ink where it's supposed to be pink. All right, you can use whatever colors you'd like, but I thought, well, I'll start off using the colors that they use, something close to what they use. So I have this, I had Cranberry Fizz, now I have Cotton Candy. So I'm using a light pink color for these petals on the poinsettia plant. So now I'm going to switch to stencil number 2. These are really easy to line up, folks. You won't have any trouble getting these to line up. Sorry that my head is in the shot. And you can use a little bit of ink around your perimeter, sort of as a guide. That just helps you to line your stencils up. And this is Cranberry Fizz. Look up at the top left-hand corner. You'll see the registration mark that I made. This is just such a gorgeous, gorgeous Christmas product. I can't say enough about this. All right, then I'm going in with the Cotton Candy because, sometimes you see poinsettias that are, I think they call them Jingle Bell or Marble. They have a variety of leaf colors like a pink and a red together. So yeah, that's why I did it like this. You can do all pink if you want, but this gives you that flexibility. This is looking very nice, I think. Okay, so that was stencil 4. Now stencil 5, I believe I'm on number 5. This is the pine cones and some of the twigs. No, the pine cones and the inside of the flower. So I couldn't remember what color the inside of the poinsettia flower is. For some reason, I thought it was like a gold color, but actually I think it's green. It's okay. Moving on to the pine cones. You see that first pine cone? I kind of pressed a little bit too hard with a little bit too much ink. So I'm using a baby wipe to try to diffuse that dark brown pine cone. And then this stencil, it actually is like the twigs. So I'm using Sandcastle ink. For the pine cones, I use the color Over Coffee. And as far as that pine cone being really dark, it's okay. I'm all right with it. I don't think anybody else is going to notice. And I can always use a sentiment over top of it. Next, we're using some green ink for our poinsettia leaves. These are the actual leaves of the plant. And the other things are called petals. And these are leaves. And I'm using Minted. That's the second color ink that I selected. And I'm really pleased with how this turned out. I think this is perfect for a holiday card. Then I grabbed the card panel that has sort of like the Merlot background. And I'm just going to go ahead and quickly stencil this one. I had already die cut my panels. You don't have to die cut your panels before. When I say die cut, I meant the outside shape. So for example, this one I used the postage edge die cut to cut this one out. You don't have to do that. You can just wait until after you're done ink blending. But I don't know. Sometimes I get things out of order, guys. Here I'm using see, I got to get that lined up. Oh, I already did that one. Here we go. Now we're going to color in the pine cones. This time I was a little less heavy-handed. I was, just a little bit more careful on those pine cones. I didn't want to cover them up completely. And here we have our leaves, and I'm using the color Minted. Sort of a light green. I think that's beautiful. I think that is so classy. I'm so pleased with how this turned out. Oh, it's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. All right, so let's go over to our Amaryllis, and I'm going to show you how I glued everything together. And the press and seal works really well for this type of project. And in case you didn't know, I'm sure some of you know this already, Jennifer McGuire's husband was the creator of Press and Seal. He's an engineer and developed it. And isn't it a blessing to have this product? I use it in my kitchen and I use it in my craft room. And it's the best thing for paper piecing. And so now I'm just slowly peeling back my Press and Seal. And I think maybe 1 or 2 bits of the paper came out, but that's okay. I'll put them right back into their little spot. I really like how this one turned out with the gold as the shadow layer, and the the red foil Amaryllis inside, and then the plain paper piecing. And I made birthday cards. So, these are definitely wonderful holiday cards. But my husband's great aunt was turning 90 and they had a surprise birthday for her, and her favorite color is red. So I gave her the card on the left because I thought she would really love it, and I liked the way it turned out. I used pink, and I used the 3D embossing folder, pink paper with a 3D embossing folder as my background, 2 different shades of pink. And then I used some Spellbinders die shapes to cut out sort of like a matte layer. And so here are the photos of my finished cards. Again, I made some birthday cards, which I'm super pleased with how these turned out. Now moving on to the Better Press cards. I used those Better Press sentiments. Isn't that purple one just stunning? I love how that turned out. I love how these turned out. I am just in love with these cards. I'm in love with this whole collection. I want to thank Spellbinders for sending it to me. I hope you enjoy the cards that I created. If you do like my video, please give it a thumbs up, and please leave a comment below letting me know which card is your favorite. Don't forget, Christmas is right around the corner, so now's a good time to start cranking out those holiday cards, and I certainly need to be working on mine as well. So let's get out there and get those holiday cards created. All right, and by the way, you can use the Amaryllis also for a regular birthday card, just like I did. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Have a hopeful day. Bye-bye.